It's winter here in Melbourne, and I thought this is a perfect time for a little plant check-in. Some plants are doing really well, some are struggling a little bit, and some are surprising me. So today we're going to take a look and see how things are growing. First up is my amazing little African violet. Oh my goodness. This plant is going from strength to strength. I remember transitioning this plant sometime last year, and when I got it, it was came to me as a sport African violet. So it had flowers of different colors on the one plant. And this is what it's now morphed into. It looks absolutely spectacular. Look at the colors on those blooms. They are just beautiful. And the little ruffles are amazing. Look at that. How beautiful, beautiful, beautiful that plant is. The leaves are beautiful. They are gorgeous. They are firm. They are healthy. This plant is living in a mineral blend. So it's not living in Leca. It's living in a mineral blend. Could be pond. I can't remember what kind of mineral blend I used. It could be one from Habit Plants because I like to use that one a lot. And when I transitioned this plant, I did not take the soil off the roots. I took it out of the pot and just, gave it a little shake and put it directly in this mineral blend. This is the one that you can see those roots. Just look at those. They're so fine and so fragile. And I'll just plonk that right in the middle. That just goes right there, and I'll start to fill the sides with my substrate. I think we can all agree that this plant is really loving it in there. It lives on my plant shelf just next to me over there. It's got a grow light shining on it, and I put nutrient solution in that reservoir when it needs it. Let me see if I can pull it out of there. This pot is a bit finicky, and I could destroy my plant in trying to do that. There we go. That is the pot. And that is the wick that I have it in. So it's in a wick setup. But overall, this plant is really loving life here. Another plant that I'm actually surprised by is this Anthurium Warocqueanum, the queen of Anthuriums. And I don't know why I'm surprised, really. I mean, the queen is growing for the queen, right? Yes, everyone's a comedian. But anyway, yeah, I'm quite surprised. I'm not known for growing anthuriums, and to be honest, anthuriums just don't thrive in my care, largely because I am not willing, or I just can't do all the moisture stuff that they need. But this is the newest leaf from my queen anthurium. Look at that. I'm so happy with it. Those are the other leaves there. When I got this plant, it was teeny tiny, and I've been with it for actually quite a very long time. So this is why I'm surprised that this plant is still here. I've had it for a while. So it's kept up with me for a long time, and it's living in my Leca clay bowls. And I do have one of those sort of pot extenders there. And oh, hang on, let me show you. This one I got from the Leafy brand. And this plant really does need a repot, pot extender or not. I need to give her a repot, but here she is. This is my Anthurium Warocqueanum, just absolutely loving life here. And I just love how she is really starting to grow into her majesty. Next up is something you're going to laugh about. Alocasia. Of course, we had to have alocasias in this video, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a few more to come after this one. This is my Alocasia Frydek variegated. Look at the variegation on this beautiful, beautiful plant. Ooh! Living in Leca clay bowls as well. That is in a wick setup, and that's how I like to grow my alocasias now. And since I've been doing that, things have been going really well. Oh, hang on. I just saw something here that I want to show you. Look at that. That is a root that has come from this plant and attached to my wick there. There's another root that is coming there. That's a root. I love how this plant is going. This is another plant I've had for a few years, and I thought it died. It went dormant, and I've pretty much had to start this plant all over again. It used to look really good, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think she is coming back. Let's talk about someone who is struggling right now. And this is something I actually am failing to understand. This is my little English ivy plant that I got. And this one is living in, I don't know, a mineral blend, right? I got this plant, I put it in here. It was doing really well. And then all of a sudden, it just started looking a bit dry. And I'm thinking, what is happening here? Something is happening. And you know what? I have no answer to this. The only thing I can think of is dry rot. I think I might have had this plant stay dry for a little bit too long, and then I rehydrated, and me thinking, oh yeah, just because I've put nutrient solution in, it's just going to bounce back and it's going to go back to normal. And no, this plant is really, it's putting up it's just not happy right now. And I don't know what I'm actually going to do with it. I mean, I do have the option of just chucking it and getting another one. I actually got this plant living outside in my garden. I could go and get that and just put it in this, but I'm going to hold on to it and see how far we go. Have you had any experience with a plant doing this? A plant that's relatively easy, that was fine. If you have, let me know how that went for you in the comments below. But yeah, that is my English ivy, just looking a bit sus right now. A plant that is on the struggle bus. Don't know. Alrighty, let us look at a begonia, shall we? This is my begonia, Maurice Amey. Oh, look at the colors on this beauty. How gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous is she. And you can see, look here, boom, boom. I chopped her. I chopped her probably a couple of months ago, maybe less, I don't know. I chopped her because she was overgrown and was just everywhere. I think I actually have another. Yeah, I do have another one of this one. It's the exact same plant, and it was going a bit feral, and so I decided to chop it up, and I've decided that I'm actually going to make a display of my begonia Maurice Amey, like I've done with my begonia ?white ice. Every time I show this white ice, everybody tells me it's not a white ice. I don't know, whatever. Whatever it's called, the lovely begonia. So I want to do a similar thing with this begonia. So I've got cuttings and I'm going to dress it up nice because right now she's just insane. So I need to fix that. But yes, you know the thing I love the most about this plant is the colors on the leaf. The colors are just amazing. And when you turn it around, that's the back of the leaves. It just looks so pretty. So amazing. So amazing. Somebody else who's making me pretty happy this winter and is actually surprising me a little bit is my Alocasia. This is my Alocasia Batik Dora. I think it's called. Look, just look, people. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at how amazing that is. I don't know which one I prefer more now, whether it's the Variegated Frydek or this one. They are so different, both variegated Alocasias. But this one I got very recently. This is the first time I'm ever owning this plant. Very, very recent purchase. I just transitioned it to Leca a few months ago. And honestly, I think this is a new leaf. This one. This one. This is a new leaf. This is obviously one of the older leaves, feeling a bit sad. But the thing that's absolutely amazing about this plant is what the roots look like. So yes, of course, Leca clay balls, but look at that. Look, how amazing is that? It's just, they're so beautiful and so long. And oh, this one could actually be longer, but it's actually attached to my wick there. Get these two out of the way. You can see that's attached to the wick there. That one is also attached to the wick. So of course, this is also living in a wick setup. That's the wick there. But yes, nothing to complain about that plant. It's beautiful. I love it. Something a bit more unorthodox that's thriving this winter. Thriving. This is my Epiphyllum curly Sue plant. Oh! Look at her. She just looks beautiful. And lots of new growth as well. You can see that there, new growth. There, new growth. There's just a lot of new growth going on, and it's beautiful. And this one is also living in Leca clay balls, and it's living in this eco planter, and that's the little water level indicator there. It's right at the bottom there. There's a little red thingy that's supposed to bob up there when it's full. And a lot of people would think this kind of plant would not do well in a planter, in a semi-hydro setup. It's got constant access to water and nutrition. It is a cactus for all intents and purposes-ish. Succulent. Let me call it a succulent. Let me not start telling lies here. But there you go. There you go. It is absolutely thriving. So yeah, these things can happen and these things can thrive. Now I've got another little pretty plant that is actually thriving and surprising me this winter. This is my Caladium Pink Symphony. If you watched the video I did with my mum a few weeks, you will have seen it in this one because she loved this one because of this. Look at that gorgeousness that plant throws out. It starts off throwing out leaves that look like this, and then it transforms into something as beautiful as this. But look at this one. Look at this. How delicate is that plant? It looks so good. Look. Wow, wow. And of course, this is, there's something else coming out here. If you take a look at this one, that's got interesting colors as well. Really, really nice when it emerges. Of course, it is also living in Leca clay balls in a tiny, tiny pot actually. But all in all, this plant is very happy. It's a caladium, so you would think that it would have gone dormant by now. But I mean, it does live in my grow tent, to be fair. And I have kept my grow tent a little bit warm this winter, a lot warmer than I have in previous years because of the few Alocasia experiments I'm doing in there. So this has been taking great advantage of the increased temperatures and has just decided to just keep on living in winter. My Caladium Pink Symphony. Sticking to the pink theme, I have my Aglaonema here. Now, this is only my first ever time growing Aglaonemas. I'm not into Aglaonemas, so I don't even know what they're called. I know there's like heaps and heaps and heaps of them with all sorts of lovely, precious names. But when I bought this one, I clearly wasn't paying too much attention, so I don't know what it's called. If you know what it's called, please let me know in the comments below. But look, people, just look at that beautiful, beautiful plant. The pinks on that are just to die for. And of course, it is living in Leca clay balls. This is a this year plant. I haven't had this plant very long. So it's just, hang on. Do you know what I spy? I spy, this looks like it might be a bloom there, right there. Right there. I think this plant is actually about to flower. She is really, really loving it here. Let me see if I can get it better visual. I'm not sure if you saw it really, really well. There we go. There. That right there. That plant is flowering. That is my Aglaonema that I'm really, really happy with. If you haven't seen that video, just check on the link above. I will also put it in the video description to show how I transitioned this Aglaonema from soil to living in semi-hydroponics with Leca. I can't believe this is only my very first Hoya on this list, which is very, very surprising. This is my Hoya Carnosa Compacta. This is my inner variegated one. It's variegated on the inside. You can see how you've got the whites on the inside and the green on the outside. I love this plant. I love it so much. I love the shape of it. I love everything about it. And I hate the fact that it is such a slow grower. And so, my plant is dry. I need to fill it up with nutrient solution, but look at how it's growing so well. And I think here, look, when you look here, this is a new vine that's coming and growing. I love it. I love my Hoya Carnosa. It reminds me of, oh, what was her name? The goddess in Moana, Tafiti. It reminds me of Tafiti's hair. I don't know. Yeah, never mind me. You know, one of my eternal faves. I have to step back so you can take a look and see just how much this plant has grown. How much this plant is loving it here. Oh my goodness. I love it, love it, love it. This is my blue star fern. Love my blue star fern. Look at it. There's a lot of new growth coming through, actually. I don't know if these plants know something about spring that we don't. See, lots of little new growth there. Lots of them dotted around there. This plant, oh my gosh. The colors just do it for me. The colors and, you know, the fronds, all the fingers and the fronds. Oh, gorgeous. This is living in a wick setup. You can see the wick there and you can see all those roots going down and literally taking the wick hostage at this point. You can see that. At this, I mean, would you really call it a wick setup at this point? I think it's probably, I mean, those roots have just literally grown into the reservoir and, you know, you can see them poking out through all the little holes. This plant really brings a smile to my face. I'll leave it on here just for a few more seconds so you can appreciate just how beautiful this mama is. Gorgeous. Okay, blue star fern, blue star fern. Let's bring on another Alocasia, shall we? This is my Alocasia Red Secret. Look at that. Does that not look like a plant with a secret? Oh, there's two plants in this pot. Check that out. Looking absolutely amazing. And there's a new leaf about to pop out there. And this one is going to be huge. I know it's going to be huge. Now, not only do I have two Alocasia Red Secrets growing in this pot, I also have another two growing in this pot. Look at that. Beautiful. And this one, if you look here, you can see this looks like a bloom to me. It's definitely a bloom. It's definitely an inflorescence, and this might be a leaf. It might also be a bloom. I don't know. But that plant is very happy. It's flowering. It's doing all the things. This plant is living in Leca clay balls. The other plant is living in a mineral blend. It could be pond, it could be habit blend, I don't know. And I did an experiment where I transitioned two, like this one and the other one. So I did one in Leca and one in mineral blend to see which medium worked better for this plant. And in the end, there are my plants. And this is something that if you're interested in watching that video, you can find that in my membership portal at thelecaqueen.com. But geez, look at that. Look at the shine on that, the coppery shine on that Red Secret. That is just one of the most amazing plants ever. Next up is this ZZ plant. I've had this ZZ plant for a few years now, and you can see why I love it. Look at the variegation on that plant. It looks so beautiful. When I got this plant, it was literally just the one stalk, and I think it was this one. That stalk is gone now, and it's given me these three. This one here in the middle, that's the newest one. I'll turn it around so you can take a look at the back. It looks so fantastic. And I'm really hoping this is not going to be a case of a ZZ plant reverting like my ZZ Accabono. If you haven't seen that video, just click on the link above and you'll see what's happened to my gorgeous plant. But, you know, this more than makes up for my missing very large variegated ZZ plant. So I'm really hoping that things take off with that. It's also living in Leca clay balls and you can see the roots there. Look at how amazing those roots are. And, you know, I love plants like this because they can allow me to show you how a plant like a ZZ plant that people are scared to water, that normally does not like being overwatered, can live in semi-hydroponics. in a submerged setup, no less, and it's absolutely fine. So whether that holds true for everybody, I don't know, but it definitely holds true for me, and that is my ZZ Variegated. I don't know, it looks white. Is it a cream or is it I don't know. It's not a yellow variegation, it's more like a white wine. I love it. Next up is something I know you are going to love. I get lots of people asking me about this plant when they come across it, and I'm happy to report to you that it is still alive. I think you know what it is. People who've been watching my channel regularly might know what lives on a little moss pole like this. Da 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 da, drum roll please. And here she is. My Hoya Crimson Princess, people, living on that moss pole. Whoo! Look at this mama. Look at her. She is just beautiful and fantastic. I have not been worked on her for a bit, so I've got some stray vines going everywhere instead of them being tucked in. See, that one as well is a little bit stray, but oh my. Look at the gorgeousness of those leaves. You've got the greens, you've got the pinks, and it's so, so, so beautiful. Also living in Leca clay bowls. This is the original pot that I had this plant in many years ago. And look, that's the root system going down there. And whew, yeah, I love her. I absolutely love this plant, my Hoya Crimson Princess. The moss pole does absolutely nothing for this plant. All it is, it's a glorified trellis. It's just making it look a certain way. So don't worry. And no, I don't water it because that's another question I get asked a lot. So the moss pole is dry, really, really dry. And all it's doing is anchoring my plant and giving it a shape because I just turn it around and around and I have the vines grow on that. She's growing. Let's look at another plant that is struggling, to put it a little bit mildly. This is my Ninja plant, my Emerald Forest. See, I love it. Look at that plant. Just look at how beautiful those leaves look. And what's even more magical is look at what the back looks like. It's so furry and fuzzy. They look just absolutely amazing. So you can see I've got, it's a bit leggy now. There's this one, there's that one, and then there is this one. Look, oh shucks, that plant just looks really, really, really good. And they're all coming off the codex. I don't like the way it's looking. I think it looks leggy. It's just, and I don't know. I mean, it is a little bit dry right now. I haven't watered it yet. But what I've done in the past with this plant is I'll actually just cut all these off. I'll just cut all this green off and just leave the codex only, leave the potatoey thing, which is called a codex, this one. I'll leave that. And eventually it will grow new ones. And this is actually a good time to do it, I think, because we're going into spring. So if I did do it, because there's a, look, there's a tiny, tiny leaf there. So yeah. Now would be a good time to do it because all that is just gonna grow back and it's going to look as fabulous as it always looked. So yeah, not really happy with how things are going with this one. So, well, it'll have to go. Not the plant, just the foliage. This is another plant that's not doing so well right now. There we have it. Yeah, I know. I say not doing so well. This is my watermelon peperomia. Look at how beautiful that plant is. Absolutely beautiful. So it looks great here, right? But look at that. That is not so hot. I mean, to be fair, that's not because of the plant. I actually have chopped it back a lot. I just grabbed my pair of shears and I just hacked away at it, and I'm propagating at the moment, and I'm basically starting this bowl again. It was looking a bit scraggly, the plants were overgrown, and you know, they were going everywhere. So I decided the best thing to do for it is to just cut it back, and you can see it's already starting to look really, really good. And I'm just going to replant everything once my propagations take, and watch out for that video. On the plus side, here is a plant that I am absolutely digging this winter. Oh, look at this. This is my golden tooth tiger, tiger tooth, teeth. You can see why it's got teeth, right? I love that jaggedness. I know it's called bougie something in America, I think. Boogie? I don't know. I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys call it. But yes, look, that's a new leaf there and it's so shiny and so yum. This one as well, looking absolutely fantastic and beautiful. I just love the colors on this. It looks absolutely gorgeous and it is just loving life in its naked root planter. Take a look at the root system there. The air root pruning doing its thing. Hang on. Look at that. Look at those teeny tiny roots looking so spectacular. So amazing. Look at that one. That one over there. That's another one that's looking beautiful. That is my plant that I love. That is doing really, really well. This one is a new acquisition for me. I've only had it for a few months and oh, looky. This is my Monstera Burl Marks Flame. No, it's not flaming yet. That's because, you know, these plants are still a little bit rare in Australia and it was very small when I got it. So, you know, getting to this point, we're looking good. We're now at the point where it's starting to get that bend. I can put it on a moss pole. So I'm going to put this one up on a moss pole one of these fine days. I'll show you how I do that. But it's loving life in its naked root planter. It's in a clear pot. Let's see if we can see some roots, shall we? Ah, there we go. Roots. There are some roots. Roots. Root down there. Doing well. That is my Monstera plant. There's another Hoya that's doing really well in my care this winter, and it's this. This is my Hoya Thailand. This is a new one in my collection. I've only had for a few months, and ooh, look at that leaf. Oof. Look at the jaggedness of that leaf. Look at the texture, the architecture of the leaf itself. This is what I like to call a Jurassic Hoya. Maybe that's not what everybody calls Jurassic, but to me, this looks Jurassic. It just looks so, the leaves are so interesting. And yeah, after the talk I had with April about Hoyas and Hoya care, April's from Unsolicited Plant Talks, and she loves Hoyas and she eats, lives and breathes Hoyas. Amazing. I'm going to look up what conditions this plant needs in order to get it to bloom. So if you haven't seen that podcast, just go take a look. Link above, description below. Look at that one. Looking absolutely gorgeous. Hoya, Thailand, of course, living in Leca clay balls in that tiny 10 centimeter pot. Loving it. We gotta have a fiddle, right? We gotta have a fiddle. This is my fiddle leaf fig bambino. Ah, look at her. She is gorgeous, beautiful, absolutely loving life, and she's living in one of my larger naked root planters. And I actually chopped up this plant sometime last year because it got so tall, long, whatever you want to call it, and I chopped it up. This is my fiddle leaf fig bambino that had a bare stem. The leaves were only at the top, so I chopped it and created this. It's looking amazing. And I planted, so this is its baby, this one here. This one over here is also its baby, and ooh, shucks, looks like a teenager to me. It's literally catching up to mum. But what I love about it is, oh, I don't know, this is very awkward to show. Look at those leaves. Look at the leaves and how healthy they look. I don't know if I'll be able to show you the roots. Oh, yay. That is what that looks like in my naked root planter. Whew. That is a big fiddle leaf fig bambino, I tell you. A little bit heavy too. And what's really interesting about this plant is I actually not treating it, in any fancy way. It lives right there, like where this plant is. That's where I got it from, and that's where it lives. The window is all the way over there, so it doesn't have that much light, really, when you think about it. But it seems to be happy, so I can't complain. No list would be complete without how one of my variegated Monsteras is doing. And this is my variegated Monstera Albo. This one here is its newest leaf. Ooh, look at that. And it's on a moss pole and it has pretty much outgrown its moss pole. You can see that's where we are now. I really need to do something about that sooner rather than later. But yes, it is loving it, and it is in a 14 centimeter pot, just looking absolutely beautiful. Last but not least, I'll bring on my Philodendron, a Florida Ghost. Oh, I am loving my Florida Ghosts right now. I have 3 of them from the one plant, and look at how amazing that plant is, how amazing that looks. Look at those leaves. Oh, this is another plant that literally, there's no grow lights, there's nothing. It lives there, like right there where I'm pointing, somewhere there. That's where my window is. It just lives in front of my window, and that's it. But look at that new leaf. Look at how the yellow, and look at how it starts, the green, the specks of green there. It just looks beautiful. The thing I absolutely love about Philodendron Florida Ghosts is that it tells you the timeline of light across the plant, like what's been happening to your light in your house over a duration of time. So you can see these bottom leaves, the ones that are really, really white with that lovely speckle of green. I reckon those happened in the summertime when there was a lot of light available. And then you can see after these, you get these, and they're like green. They're absolutely green. And I reckon that's a time, probably winter time, when the light is not as great. And so the plant is compensating by making those leaves a lot greener so it can make enough food during photosynthesis. And then as it starts to get brighter and brighter, you can see those leaves actually changing. And then you have leaves like that coming through. So yeah, that's the thing I love about my Philodendron Florida Ghost. And as I said, I have 3 of these. I've got the big one, and I've got the little one, and this is my middle Philodendron. Thank you so much for doing this tour with me, and I'll see you in the next video.